Salutations everyone, this is Razor bringing you guys my top 15 movies for 2014. Now, we don't know a lot about every single movie, but on this list I compiled based off of what we know so far, who's involved with it, as well as like posters or trailers, or what it's a sequel to. Gives us a pretty good idea of how, hyped we should be for these movies. And I compiled my list of my top 15, so here we go. Coming in at number 15 is The Lego Movie. I'm sorry, but if you were ever 10 years old, how does this movie not excite you just a little bit? I mean, just seeing the trailer just makes you smile. It's just so, fun and, toys that we've, been using for so long to be on the silver screen in, pretty authentic, rendition of, what they do look like in the real world. And it's got some funny people attached to the project. And, I mean, it could be really good. I don't think it'll be great. It is number 15 on my list, but nevertheless, it's on here anyway. Number 14, Transcendence. Wally Pfister's directorial debut, longtime cinematographer for many of Christopher Nolan's films, who is actually executive producing on the show, starring Johnny Depp as the lead role of an AI researcher. Kate Mara, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, a lot of great actors attached to the projects. They hit the singularity in this film, and Johnny Depp consciousness is transferred into a supercomputer, and shit goes down from there. Very, very cool. A directorial debut from someone you know a lot of good work from, a good strong cast, and a very cool concept for a film. Number 13, Divergent. Based off of the book of the same name of the trilogy from Veronica Roth, another young adult novel series trying to, get that movie tie-in, hopefully to be as successful as, Harry Potter or Twilight or Hunger Games. I don't think it'll hit, Harry Potter status. I mean, it just doesn't have that kind of, fan base behind it. But there's been a lot of buzz for the book on the books for a while, especially since, the third one only came out in, the last year or so. And, I mean, it's got some cool people. It's got Shailene Woodley as the lead role, one of my favorite actresses. And it's going to be a huge year for her. But it'll be interesting to see what it, how it translates. I haven't read the book myself. It could be a good film. It's got good people. And, might turn into more films from the book franchise. Number 12, Monuments Men, starring George Clooney, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, John Goodman, a couple other awesome people I can't name right now. Kate Blanchett, is that right? It takes place in World War II, where they have these soldiers, these artistic minds to try to recover the stolen art that the Nazis took. A lot of huge people in the film. When you have a cast like that, it can only going to be good. It's only going to be good. So that's why it's on this list. Number 11, Gone Girl, directed by David Fincher. Only amazing work comes from him. It's got Ben Affleck attached to the project, based off of the novel of Gillian Flynn, who actually wrote the screenplay of this film as well. So that's also a very, very good sign when a novel is transcribed to the big screen by its own author. So, very, very good signs there. You got a great director, a great leading actor, and, a screenwriter that actually knows the source material better than anyone else. Number 10, The Grand Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson, funny, quick-witted humor. It's a good trailer. You should check it out. I'll leave, just all of these in the description. And it's Wes Anderson. I mean, I haven't been a fan of all of his work, but some of his more recent works has been pretty damn good. And this one looks like it's going to follow suit just as well. Number 9, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Once again, the last book of a trilogy or long-standing young adult series that's being split into 2 movies. This book being a little smaller than the second one and slightly larger than the first one. It's all about money. Also, apparently a lot of stuff happens in it. A lot of people die. That happens a lot in the last book of a popular series. I haven't read it myself, but the first movie was okay. The second one, Catching Fire, was great. And hopefully Mockingjay can continue that trend. I heard that the second movie was very, very true to the actual book, more so than the first one was. And if the third one can follow suit, all the better. Number 8, The Wind Rises, Hayao Miyazaki's final film. It's Studio Ghibli. They only produce gold. It's based off of the manga that Mr. Miyazaki made himself. I don't know if it's going to be one of the best ever, but it's Miyazaki. It's going to be great. It's Ghibli. It's going to be great. Based off of it's a fictional biographical tale of the Japanese man who created the Zero Fighter that was flown and made popular in World War II. But it's Ghibli. It's Miyazaki. It's only going to be good. Finally gets a United States release in February with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and someone else that's good. Number 7, Jupiter Ascending. It's Wachowski siblings' next film. That's the main reason why it's on this list. It's The Matrix, great. The other two, whatever. Speed Racer, great. Cloud Atlas, amazing. So Jupiter Ascending, I mean, there's not a whole lot released about the plot. It's got Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum. They aren't my favorite actors in their acting ability, but I trust the writing, the producing, the writing, because it's the Wachowskis, they're directing as well, and that's basically why I'm hyped for this film. Number 6, this is where things get really good. Captain America Winter Soldier. Highly anticipated, at least for me. They got the origin out of the way. They got the Avengers out of the way. This storyline, Winter Soldier, I think has a lot of potential for being, better than those other two films that Captain America has appeared in. You got, Captain America. You got the Bucky Rogers storyline. You got the Falcon. You got, the Shield and all that. Great looking action, fantastic looking trailer. Maybe it's a little misleading. Maybe it's not as good as, I hope it's going to be, but it still can be really good. And the trailer has shown, even more so, to this possibility. Number 5, X-Men's Days of Futures Past, the sequel to X-Men First Class, which I thoroughly enjoyed. That was much better than all the other X-Men movies combined. And this shares the same cast, as long as with, the returning oldies from the trilogy, and as well as Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, the only thing that was really missing from First Class outside that little cameo. It looks like it could really be good, if the writing is done right. We have, the actors in place, a lot of potential ways this movie can go. Now, a lot has been revealed. The trailer looks very awesome and powerful, so a lot of hopes up for this one. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I promise this is the last comic book one. I love The Amazing Spider-Man. I thought it was absolutely way better than all the other Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi ones. And this one, while there's got a lot of moving parts with all the different villains, you get the Rhino and Goblin, and maybe it's 2 Goblins, who knows, and then you got Electro, and I don't know, maybe Stiltman gets in there somehow. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of moving parts. The trailer looks great. If they can handle multiple villains correctly, which other films have done, just look at Batman. This could be a very, very fantastic, amazing movie because you have great actors attached to it all across the board. All the, you got Emma Stone, you got Andrew Garfield, you got Paul Giamatti. I mean, it's just a great cast, a great hero, good, strong villains. If they do it right, it'll be amazing. But, there's a lot of things going on there. Number 3, How to Train Your Dragon 2. That's right, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Number 3 on my list because of how awesome the first film was. I thought it was better than Toy Story 3. I might be in, the minority there. But it was a fantastic first film. And I like the way that they're handling the sequel. They aged the lead character a little bit. They aren't messing with the formula too much, it looks like. Maybe it's a little bit obvious, and maybe there's going to be some plot devices, but the first one was so great. The second one can be so good. It doesn't seem like they're just trying to just plow that cash cow as much as they can with a really good franchise, as DreamWorks has with other movie franchises. But this one can be really good, and it looks like it really can be, and most of all, I just hope it is. Number 2, Interstellar. It's the least we know about any of the movies here on my list, but it's the one I'm second most excited for. It's Christopher Nolan, it's Matthew McConaughey, and it's Anne Hathaway. I don't need to know more to be excited for this film. I'll buy a ticket right now if I can. It's space travel, something to do with wormholes, apparently. It's Christopher Nolan, guys. It's Christopher Nolan. He gave us Batman, freaking Dark Knight Rises. He gave us Inception. The guy's awesome. So that's why he gets number 2 here on my list, even though we know almost nothing about this film. But it's enough. And my number 1 most anticipated film of 2014 is The Fault in Our Stars, based off of the book of the same name by John Green. My favorite book of all time, which is why it gets a spot on here on my list. It's just a fantastic story. You got Shailene Woodley as the lead role, one of my favorite actresses, as I said with Divergent. It's such a good story. I trust the author, and he was on set watching the film. He was absolutely blown away, and it's just such a good story. It's such a good story, and I think they're going to handle it well. All signs point to them doing things the right way. The author was blown away about the set design and the pieces and the actors and the emotion, which is very, very vital to this film. And I think it's going to be an absolute grand slam. So that's why it's my #1 most anticipated film of the year. Is this list going to be right? Obviously not. There's a lot of elements that are up in the air, a lot of things we don't know about some of these films, some more than others. But this is just what I'm most excited for in order. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are you most excited for? Was it on this list? Was it not? And we'll have a comments discussion there. And I'll see you guys next time.